Hello, creative friends. Sandy here today, sharing a process video for one of my layouts done using the December limited edition kit from My Creative Scrapbook. My Creative Scrapbook has 4 new kits every month, and additionally has some flower subscriptions or mixed media subscriptions as well. Anyway, on this layout, I'm using an old sketch by Laura Whitaker, who goes by the handle of @LauraCreates50 on Instagram. And anyway, I kind of like it. It's something different for me to do. And there for my base layer, you see I've trimmed away some excess paper that's going to be covered with the second layer, and I'm going to use that on a different project. So anyway, the paper sits kind of sideways on this, and I thought that would be a unique and a little bit different way to use the floral paper that's got the circular wreath there in the center. And although I do like making layouts with those papers and using the wreath and, putting clusters on it and photos, I thought I would do something a little different and kind of cover it as you see here on this design. So I've backed that L-shaped piece onto a piece of white cardstock just to support the secondary layer going on. And there I'm just making sure that everything is lined up, and I've trimmed away all the excess. And then I got to go about going through my papers to see what I'm going to use for a mat on my photos, and then also what I want as a layer to be beneath my 2 photos. These are photos of my daughters. We have a tradition of going shopping, at Christmas every year, and that helps me to choose gifts for the grandchildren, and we have a fun time together. And we don't even ask what time or what mall anymore because it's just become part of our tradition to do the same thing. Their favorite part is having lunch. My favorite part is being with my kids. So anyway, we do get a lot of shopping done, but here I go gluing up that paper that's going to go right there. Afterwards, I did kind of regret that I didn't elevate it on some corrugated cardboard just so I could tuck things in here and there, but it still looks okay anyway. And right here you can see me auditioning some different laser cut embellishments and chipboard pieces that are from the kit, and there's so many that there's a lot to choose from, but I am also keeping in mind what I'm going to use on project number 4, or what I might need. So there I've used that kind of charcoal colored plaid remnant that I had to go ahead and back those photos, and then I put them on the corrugated cardboard so I could at least get those up. And then I've used a little branch right there in the center, and I go about gluing both of those photos and getting them in place. It was helpful that I've got the buffalo plaid there that I could kind of use to line up, but I do come back with the T-square just to kind of make sure everything is lined up like it should be. And then I go around and I measure here in a little bit as far as where everything is, if the margin is the same all the way around or approximately. It's going to be covered with some embellishments either way. And then I apologize for this, but I did do some stenciling off camera, and that was because my papers were already down, and so I had to do some masking of that buffalo plaid, and then get my stencil up underneath. And anyway, I thought it would be easier to do off camera, so I did that. And then there's a little piece of mistletoe that I'm putting up there in the right hand corner, and I did let that kind of go down straight as per the paper. And then also I found that little piece in the kit that says a family tradition. That's on the back side or packaging portion of one of the laser cut kits. And here you can just see me adding in some chipboard pieces and some florals just to kind of see where I want things to go. And I like that little pine cone up there in the corner, at least the branch part of it. And then I use that little Santa mailing or, postal box that's kind of cute. That's from Christmas Spectacular. And then I add a little chipboard there to elevate the secondary flower that I'm putting on, just so they'll be kind of nestled together there. And then I put down a piece of, I don't know how to explain it. It's kind of like a little star, but it looks like a wooden element. I'm not sure what it's supposed to be. But anyway, I go back later and elevate it with a foam square. But there's another sweet little piece I thought was nice, and I thought it really doesn't cover too much of my pictures. It's just kind of the table space or the bottom portion of the picture. So that's okay. And then I use one of the little wood slices that had some words on it. And I think it says making memories. And then I just kind of look over on the left-hand side of the photos and decide I'm going to use one of the Christmas tree chipboards, and then one of the Father Christmases. I guess he's supposed to be St. Nicholas, but he's got a kind of a hood on, so I think he's really a Father Christmas. I'm going to claim that. And then I use that little branch piece to go in there because I know I'm going to use that flower, and I thought that would be nice to give some texture, to the floral and that whole arrangement right there. And I am using my Beacons 3-in-1 again for most of the project, although I do use some art glitter glue as well. And then I kind of experiment with that right there and get that in place. That's a chipboard version of the little piece that I told you I couldn't describe. If you know what they are, leave me a comment below. And then up there in the upper left, I want to put that little envelope, that says Dear Santa. And I put a little poinsettia laser cut piece behind it. And then over on the lower right, I'm going to add a Christmas tree or a tree and the reindeer, and then a little chipboard subtitle. And then I back it because my photo, it has chipboard underneath it, so I want to go ahead and make them the same height. And then I put the little deer I'm going to put him kind of behind the tree. And then I add that little chipboard title piece there onto the tree just to give it something to rest on so it's not just kind of dangling in space. And then I put my little reindeer right behind there. Thought that was kind of cute. And then I am going to be filling in with some color here in a little bit. But I do want to see what else I can add, and I find that circular piece right there, and I'm going to tuck that in over on the left side. And it wasn't lined up straight enough, so I had to fiddle with it just a little bit. And then that piece right there, I just kind of tuck that under the flowers, but yet it doesn't really cover up any important part of the picture. And there's another one of those little bits. I think I had 3 of them that I kind of used them in a kind of a diamond arrangement, just so the eye could travel across the page as it should. And next, I think I'm getting ready to do my splatters. Now, this is where I go back and I lift up that little piece I told you about, and I do have to do a little repair there. And there's a tear in the paper, but it doesn't matter because it's going to be covered with the same element. It's just going to be elevated on a little piece of foam square. I clean that out a little bit, and then I get that back in place, and I like it better up a little higher like that. And here's where I shake my shimmers. I know I'm supposed to roll it. Sorry about that, Stacy. But anyway, then I'm going to take it and I'm just going to splatter it around. This is the Gold Digger by it's the Gold Digger. It's the color, and it's the color splash. I find this a good substitute for the old Heidi Swap Shine that came in gold. I really did like that, and I just can't find it anymore because I don't make it. But anyway, I do quite a bit of gold splattering. I was trying not to get too much, but get just enough, to be as I wanted it. And then I had a little bit of spill there. And then this is about the time I decided I want to go ahead and start just kind of brushing in some of the gold paint, and just to give a little highlight to the photos and to that area. It kind of fills in a little bit, but it does give some nice definition to the photos. And then I do it up top as well. And this way also it kind of highlights the stenciling that I did. That's just an old star stencil that I had in my stash. It doesn't come in the kit, but I'm sure that you have something similar in your stash that you can probably use. And so I think the very last thing I do is look things over, and then I do at the very end, I think off camera, add some pearls. So here you go. This is the close-ups and a second look. I do appreciate you stopping by today. There'll be details below about how to order your kit or to be a kit subscriber. And I'll see you next time. Bye.